Good afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world, and you're very welcome back. It's wee Paddy, back to do another part of my whole collection videos. And today, I'd I'd asked sort of what people would like, whether they would like the Barlows, my Barlow collection, or my case collection. Well, overwhelmingly, it was the Barlow, which surprised me. But I have about 23 of these little puppies that I can find that we're going to do, and we're going to go quickly through them. I'm not going to do in-depth reviews. This is more for just my collection videos that I'm doing. I'm going to put a separate tag in the libraries, which will take you to my 2023 collection video, and I'm going to go through all of my knives, well, whatever I can find when I'm doing the video. So I'm just going to start. This is the Barlows, and I'm sort of going to start at the cheaper end. It might get mixed up, but I've no plan. I'm just going to talk about them. These two were given to me by a kind subscriber for my collection. These are Imperial Ireland, which you can obviously guess why I wanted them. These are old knives. You know, this one could still work. This one, the blade's good. This one's got a bit, it was a bit damaged, but I could say I'd probably put an edge on it and it would work, you know, as a secondary knife. They're not the best put together. These bolsters are just clipped over the top, as you can see there and there, there and there. They're just clipped in here, clipped on. But they were just a great little working knife. They were made in Ireland. They've been made in England, America. I'm not sure where else, but they were Imperial, and these were the budget end and the very budget end. But honestly, this big Granddaddy Barlow, it's light because this is just, I think it's probably even hollowed out plastic, and the bolster's tin rather than anything expensive. But honestly, there's no wobble in that blade whatsoever. And it's stern enough that I wouldn't worry about it. And you put an edge in that, it will work. Like a lot of the older knives, they mightn't have been the prettiest, but they will still work. So there's the two of them. That's the start of our day. I'll try and get these all in so that we'll have them at the end. Another big Barlow that this was Slick Slicers gave this to me. This is in the ram's horn. Beautifully made knife from marbles. Is it marbles? No, this is Rough Rider. Sorry, did I say that at the beginning? This is Rough Rider with a lovely horseshoe shield on it. Lovely etched on there. A fantastic Granddaddy Barlow. Bit off centre, but at the price of these knives, that really isn't an issue whatsoever. So there's another big one. The Rough Rider Granddaddy Barlow in ram's horn, which I highly recommend. So, what else have we got here? Well, let's just go from the extreme to the other extreme. This is another Rough Rider, and it's got the shield. These are the older models. This is a tiny little Barlow, and it's a lockback. I think it's the only lockback I have in here. I think it is in the Barlows. So this is in the Stonework series. You've abalone and these other stones, a bit of pearl there. Look, it's a fifth pocket knife, but it does it's as sharp as a razor. I have carried and used this in my fifth pocket. Carried and used it in my track pants. It's just a beautiful little Barlow. Really lovely done. The attention to detail in such a small little knife that will cost under £10 is just fantastic. I love the way that companies can do that. So let me have another look. Yeah, well, here we are. Here's a couple of budget UK makers that we'll go on to now. I have this one here, which is a Tailor's Eyewitness Barlow. This was given to me by a boy in Scotland who was starting out knife making. He had put white bone in either side and just made this a much nicer, rather than just the hardwood. He put that little bone and made a lovely little pen knife out of it. Tailor's Eyewitness. This was £28 or something. Lovely little Barlow that will do anybody a day's work. So super. The next one is a Arthur Wright. This is an older model, and this is in bone. I think it's buffalo horn, but you can see the way it's gone off there. The colour has left it. Doesn't look the best in the world. This side's nice, but it's an absolutely perfectly serviceable blade. This, you know what I think of the Arthur Wright's clip point. It's just gorgeous. Doesn't matter what age the knife is. And this horn or bone is going to last forever. But it's a really lovely bulbous end on it that gives you such great grip on these the British knives. I do like that sort of a Barlow compared to the straighter USA. Well, these are USA designed, although they're made in Ireland. So there's another one anyway. And this one, which is a spectacular, I just love this. This is a 38-pound knife roughly. This is an Arthur Wright. This is a modern with a beautiful rosewood handle that has been treated, and it looks lovely. I'll bring that up to you so you can see. It just looks lovely. Again, that clip point to die for. Fit and finish in this one is absolutely excellent for a 38-pound knife. Honestly, there isn't better out there that I know of. There just isn't. I just love these. It's C75 steel or whatever. I mean, but it'll do you. It's easy sharpened, easy stropped if you're out working. So put that one over there. And here's one of my, I've got another couple of, let me see. Where am I going to go? I'll go to this one. Yes. Here's a George Wolstenholme. This is made in Sheffield. And this is his Barlow with the IXL on the bolster. This is just some sort of plastic, or maybe even like my Carta, but I think this is just plastic. Lovely, lovely knife. This is more in that Boker style of a knife. Have I got a Boker? Yes, I have my Boker here. This is it's about very much the same. These are like the sort of boys' knife size knives. There's a Boker, and there is the IXL George Wolstenholme. This is the Boker. Very, very similar. Really similar knives in stature and size. This one's just a fraction bigger. The IXL is a fraction bigger than the Boker. But Boker do make very small Barlows. This one's in my Carta, and this is just a plastic or phenolic, whatever sort of a plastic it's used. But cracking little knife. And so, you know, I would say probably 70s, 80s, somewhere around that period. Where this Boker is a newish one. This is one I got probably just last year. This was I think this was made specially for, yeah, it's 153 out of 325 in 01 tool steel. So a cracking Boker, and I think this was made for, is it Tools and Gents or Knives of, can't remember. But again, lovely little Barlow. And then another Rough Rider, and this is a modern Rough Rider. This is the Queen. They make for Queen now. They took over the Queen name. This is in the saw cut bone, and I think this is some of the most tasty bone you'll ever get. Again, for a knife that's under $20 or whatever. It's a little bit dear over here, but that doesn't matter. Look at that. Stainless steel bolsters. Two single stripes. That's not what I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. Two single line bolsters there. Beautifully done. You can see the Queen mark on the inside there and the Queen shield, which is upside down. There you go. You have the crown and Queen underneath it. This is just a stunning little Barlow. 440A. Absolutely. It's for what you're paying for it. It's fantastic. The fit and finish in this. The blade centering's not particularly great, but this one's fully centered. This one's a little bit off, but it's not rubbing. Look at the back. Super little knife. Highly recommend the Queen series that Rough Rider are doing. It is fantastic. And we'll stick with the Rough Rider, and we'll go with this one is probably the best knife that Rough Rider make, in my opinion, so far. Apart from that lanyard hole, I don't know why that got in there. It's not big enough to take anything substantial, but this is the Rough Rider Reserve Barlow. A little bit dearer, probably about 50 or 60 quid here, probably about 60 quid here in the UK, much cheaper in America. But look at that for a beautiful Barlow with a swedge, your nail nick, steel bolsters, twin lines on the bolsters, and that lovely arrow shield in my Carta. And for 60 quid, again, it's so stable. I mean, no matter what position you hold it is, It is off center, but it's not rubbing. There we go. It's off center, but it's not rubbing. But so highly, just, I can't speak highly enough of them. They really have made the effort and made a really beautiful knife if you're ever looking for one. Now, I've got another couple here that are, would you believe these are custom knives? I'm going to put that there. These are custom knives made by two makers that are little messers over there. Oh gosh, I got a bit of rust in that. I need to sort that out. Is that one? No, it's just a wee bit on this. But this is made in Sheffield. I can't remember the fella's name now. Oh, it's gone in my blooming head. I'm terrible for doing that. But if I get it, I'll put it down below. This is another handmade one by one of the little messers who makes for another company. I think it's one that does Rogers and all. But I love this little knife. It's a bit thick. You can see I laid the edge way back. It was a wee bit thick when it came, but I laid the edge back, and now, you know, it's absolutely serviceable. Lovely knife. No half stop, but a beautiful knife. The centering is pretty good, but I've got a little bit of rust there, so I'm going to leave this one. I'll put this just here. And this is another one now. This is Stephen Cocker. Can't think what that other fella's name is. It'll maybe come to me. This is Stephen Cocker, another little messer. This is beautiful. Look at that bolster with a big rat's tail, single line across the top, and jigged. This is wood, and I've shown it, I don't know how many times. It's outstanding jigging on a bit of green wood. It is just stunning. Fit and finish, hafted, rounded over. It's just beautiful. Everything about this knife is lovely. Again, a wee bit thick behind the edge. I took the edge back a little bit on this, and it cuts fine. Again, for an EDC knife that you're just going to do, you know, a few cuts on, but it's able to do much more. Again, centering, bit off, but not rubbing, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I just think this is a beautiful piece of cutlery. And I'll say that lots and lots of times. I don't mean to, it just comes out of me. And let's leave that one there, and we'll talk about the ones that you've seen recently, so I don't have to go over them that much. So let me start. This is a Schrade. I've had this for quite a while now. This is the Schrade Barlow. This is a two-bladed Barlow. You have the central blade, and it's a Scrimshaw series, and that's a little owl sitting on the tree. You have another empty little cartouche there. You could put your name in it. But it's Schrade Scrimshaw. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic Barlow. The next one is a fighting... Is this a... this is a fighting rooster, isn't it? Or a bulldog. Where's my big... It's a Hammer brand. Bulldog brand. So this is a bulldog. It's got that easy opening blade on this side and a pen blade. A lovely piece of old stag and bolsters to die for it with tobacco on them. Stunning, stunning knife. Put them there like that. Struggling for room here. And the next is my two Russell Barlows, which I've just got, and I've just done reviews on them. Please go back and see the reviews on these. Always wanted a Russell Barlow. This one's made by Schrade, we think, and as far as I know, this is made by Boker for Russell, and Schrade made this for Russell as well. So they are two crackers. I'm not going to go into them because you've just recently seen the reviews of them. I don't want to sicken you. So, and then we're going to come on now to my two finest examples of a British maker. This is a Taylor Eyewitness in Desert Ironwood, which the figuration is just beautiful on it. Look at that, highly polished blades on these knives. Everything about them beautifully done. This is done by Stephen White. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful knife. And this is one, I mean, these are not cheap either. These up 150, 170, depending where you're buying them. Beautiful half stop. And look at that noise. Centering really, really close to center. Beautiful. And then an Ashley Harrison one. This is my Blue Bone. And it's a Barlow. This is a sheep's foot. Absolutely stunning Barlow. This is well scratched up. And I don't polish my knives just to show them off. This is a working knife. I don't need to. This, usually goes in my pocket. It'll just be thrown in or taken around the house where there's a bit of rough work to do. This is a fantastic, real heavy use knife. It's about, 2.5 millimeter behind the blade there. But a gorgeous, gorgeous knife in beautiful dyed bone. And that shield I just love in the Barlow. I have to say, I really do like it. And this was my first custom knife that Ashley made for me. And what a fantastic knife to get for your first knife from our Ash. So now we're just left with, and I'm going to have to put this up here, and we'll put the last few on here. Number GECs, and here's my first one. Again, one of my real favourite. This is a little 25. I don't particularly like very small knives, but this one is the exception to the rule. The 25 from GEC. 3-ring bolster. This is the Northfield unexcelled version of it. This is snakewood. There you are. You can see that snakewood. It's a gorgeous piece of snakewood in this knife. Beautifully made. Chunky 3-finger knife. Your fourth finger goes right at the back of it. So secure, lovely, beautiful sheep's foot blade. Absolutely perfect for getting down and dirty on pull cuts or opening boxes. But it is just a perfect example of a knife from GEC. And then we're going to go into my big babies from GEC. So the first one is the knife that everybody wants. This is the boy's knife. This is the number 15 pattern, and it's the TC Barlow, which makes it very special, very collectible, and everybody wants one. And I got it in the spear point, which I adore as a spear point. And this is just a working knife. It's 3.5 inches, which is around what most boys' knife we call boys' knives are around 3.5 inches. Just super knife. You can get 4 fingers on it. For me, they're just on it, but just is enough. I keep saying that. But it's a lovely size of a knife to keep as an EDC knife. And next then is another knife that you want to get. This is a Northfield. And this is just gorgeous. This is the Yankee Barlow number 77. Beautiful. There you have the Northfield shield on there with a ring bolster on it. This was supposed to be saw cut, but let me tell you, they missed the mark. It didn't get in deep enough. You can see the lines, but you can't see anything else. But besides that, the bone is lovely. It's got that pocket worn look there. It's sort of black or really deep brown going down to this worn look here and a worn look around the back. It is just stunning. Again, fit and finish as usual. GEC really take care, and I love this Barlow. This is a little bit bigger than the 15, which gives me a spread out 4-finger. And again, I've got the spear point, because although the clip point, which this is the number 86, this is the practical range from practical knife from GEC. So this is made in stainless steel, and this is 440C, and this is the 2 acorn Barlow that came out, when did this come out? 21. So, and it's made at the Cyclops Steelworks, which is where GEC do their stainless steel knives. They don't do as many anymore, and I wish they sort of kind of would do a few. Not that I want a whole lot of them, but it would just be nice with a couple of different patterns with the stainless steel on it, and help bring some of those newbies in with a stainless steel. But really, really nice knife. One of my favourites. The bone, in fact, this is my favourite GEC at the moment. It is absolutely stunning. And there endeth 23 Barlows. I hope you enjoyed them. They're all underneath there for you, and these on top. I have such a pleasure collecting Barlows. Excuse me, I'm going to have a wee drink. Barlows would be one of my favourite patterns. I don't know if it is my favourite anymore, but it used to be, but it's still really high up there. I tend to go more for the blade shapes now, and I'm enjoying them. I do love my spear points. That's for just proper EDC that'll do anything. The spear point's good, as so is the clip point. I don't find any problem with a clip point. The sheep's foot is definitely a dedicated work knife. So I like to get as many different, you'll see through there, as many different blade shapes that go into my collection, so they're not all just one. And I get as much pleasure out of something like this from Rough Rider that's just so well done. This is not a knife I would use much unless I wanted a bit of reach. I would, come in and get this, but I haven't really used it. But it's got some heft. It really has some heft to that ram's horn, and the fit and finish is just fantastic. So yeah, I like. There's a wee tiny one. I love them too, but I just like having a mixture, and I hope you're going to find that with my collection. I don't stick. I won't have 3 or 4 of these and 3 or 4 of these and 3 or 4 of these. That's not my way. I just like to move on, get something different. Once I've got the patterns I want, I move on to something else. I might have 2 of something just because I got a good offer or something, but that really will be it. But there's not one of them Barlows, 23, and there's none of them the same, which is a joy. I love that. I really do love it. And the mixture of blades and shapes. So there you go, folks. Another part of the collection. Again, I'll start this library. I'll put a couple more before this. I'll put them up in my library and under collection 2023. That'll be in the library probably before this goes up. So come into my library, have a look around it. There's plenty of other videos that are in. I'm not very good at putting them in there, but these ones I'm going to keep in. And this will be collection 2023. And we'll move on. And the next one that I'm going to do next week will be my case knives. Have you noticed I haven't got a case Barlow, which is something I have to flip and rectify. I had a couple, and I gave one away, and I sold one to get something else one time, and I've never replaced them, and it's absolute shameful. So hopefully this year that'll be one of my targets. I would love to get an older type case with bone jigging, nice jigging on it, because that's one thing case does lovely. But it's a collection. It's ever changing. As I see something that I want, and if I need to sell something to get it, I do that, and then it all changes. And it's changed so much over the last lot of years that it brings me great joy. And it's lovely sometimes to get all them out. This would be the pattern I have the most of, the Barlow, just because I like it so much. So there you go. Paddy's away for a wee cup of tea. Didn't go on too long. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you look forward to my case collection next week. Probably a wee bit less than this, and I'll maybe talk a little bit more about the knives, but we'll see how that goes next week. Take care now. Bye.